So BTC is pushing into major resistance. Are we going to get a squeeze, or are they going to send us straight back down to hell, guys? So the question I'm asking today is this pump believable? What do we need to do to make sure it is actually bullish? So I'm going to give you my trading plan. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to show you my strategies here. I've got longs for you. I've got shorts for you. It's all going down and the candles are green. Always a good feeling. Let's get right into this. Guys, and remember, as always, hit that like, hit the bell, hit the subscribe, and we're not wrecked today. We're green AF, and things are absolutely cooking. But I wore the wrecked shirt just for fun, and I went with a white cap because we're in a danger zone, and you know this white cap often calls the end of the market. It often sends us back down to zero. Banter Bubbles, look what's happening here. I've got a tweet from Miles, actually, that we're looking at, where they're talking about this 𝗙𝗧𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪 chain. They're talking about Sonic. They're talking about Tao layer ones that are coming alive again, new shiny objects. And you can see this thing is actually performing. Pyth, that's an interesting one. We spoke about that one with Grayscale the other day. There was some news behind that, so that is looking good. And I did notice today a couple of meme coins have woken up. Brett surprised us. There was a nice move there out of Brett. There's a couple of other things going on as well. We had a proper wake up from SPX 6900. We had Giga start pumping for us that we spoke about yesterday. So nice to see some good moves there on some of those Murad meme coins. And I've got James in the house, obviously, and he brought some I don't want to say it's tinfoil shit, but he brought some last minute stuff into the show. We're going to talk about it in a second as well. It might affect you. Okay, it might affect everybody here. So let's get into this. Let's see what is going on. Oh, just a special mention here. 𝗧 on the right hand side, 13% up. There's lots of news around 𝗧. Is this gaming narrative still going on for 𝗧 as well? I mean, who would have thought 𝗧 was so big into gaming? So we're going to look at that as well in a second. Let's go. BTC is my short that I entered into about an hour and a half ago. Is that about to get rinsed? James, is my short about to get rinsed out yet?
I hope not, because I'm short too.
So guys, we've had a very interesting couple of hours. Now, what we'll note is multiple times over the last while, when we've opened in the US Open, we get these big rejection candles. Now, we've seen it multiple times over the last few days. We get massive rejections. Now, today was no different. We pumped into our major area that I gave you guys yesterday. It was the CME gap and weekend high. It was our horizontal order blocks as well. It was our 786. It was just a big danger zone for us. So this 97,900 was always going to be a rejection zone for us. And look what they did today. They gave us that beautiful rejection candle, and everybody who shorted that felt incredibly smart. Okay, so nice little move there. And you know, I mean, did I hang on too long? Now, are they going to come and stop me out? So what I was looking for lower down in terms of where we can play BTC, which looks like it's about to squeeze while we're speaking, but in terms of levels, 96,900. Let's look at 96,100. Look at that region there. I've got a VWAP as well in place. So if we do get a rejection here today, 96,900, 96,100, those are the first zones for me that are of interest. If we are going to go lower, look for this wick fill down to 95,400. But that's it to the downside that I'm interested in. I must say, I'm not entirely against getting rinsed on a short in BTC. I think that's going to be pretty bullish for everything else. So here we go. Upside levels. What are we watching? So right now we can see on the 2-hour time frame, this is our absolute war zone. And this has been a war zone for us for an extended period of time. The only difference is you can see we were actually printing lower highs along the way. So it hasn't been a very pleasant experience. We've been net down all the way. Look at this. Tons of resistance in the zone. So in terms of what we're looking at now, we know there's tons of shorters in this area, and we could well get a Bitcoin squeeze. Now, if we do get a Bitcoin squeeze here, it's all going to come down to when the bulls come back, when the bulls step in for us. So what we're going to look for is danger zone here, 98,300, danger zone, 98,900. But if we clear that, I expect to get a nice strong rejection around the 100K region. Now, unless we're getting absolutely squeezed out to all sort of levels here, 100K, I would look for your next big rejection zone, and that is going to be this beautiful wick fill as well over here, tied in with some VWAP action. So those are the big upside levels that I would pay attention to. And I see 𝗪𝗎𝗔𝗢𝗪 is finally waking up as well. What was that comment there? How big is that 𝗪𝗎𝗔𝗢𝗪 pump at the moment? So Arctic trading, nice, bro. Well, hopefully you've got some of that 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗙. Okay, so Bitcoin 100K still an absolute war zone up there, and until we start breaking above these levels, we need to be a little bit careful. So let's just clean this up, and I want to show you a bull's dream scenario here. Well, this would be my bull dream scenario here, is that we start popping through this region, we get a beautiful squeeze, we get the rejection, and then come, say, tomorrow sometime, we're looking for longs in those types of regions there. That is going to be the dream scenario for the bulls, I would say. I'd say that would be an absolute banger there. So let's see if we can get that to play out for us. But right now, you've got your downside levels, and let's see. And in terms of my short, there it is. And we're just hanging on there. You can see my stops at 98,088. Okay, so I caught that short bang into that rejection zone, and there we are. So 98,088 is my stop loss. Let's see if we're going to get out of that thing. Then you can see I'm in a Brett short as well. That's also in a nice zone. So if Bitcoin rejects here, Brett should reject. If Bitcoin rips through, well, fuck me. Brett's going to come and squeeze me out there as well. So that's that. And then I've got Sol and ETH, so no changes there at the moment on my 𝗬𝗢𝗑 situation. So James, keep me posted as we're talking, yeah? And yeah, let me know if we're getting some guard candles there while we're going. And I see Teddy's getting pumped. Let's go double bull. We go double bull. Okay. So now the question that we need to ask ourselves is, can we trust this pump? So when we get to our Bitcoin daily chart, we're going to talk about some important levels here for you guys to pay attention to. We're going to see that these alts are also sitting at major resistance still. So I'm going to give you the whole layout. I'm going to give you the whole blueprint of what you need to be looking for before you turn max bullish. You know, before you start selling things. Okay, you know what I mean. Okay, so let's go. This is always a nice feeling. Now, priority. The man's getting eaten by a crocodile. He's trying to reach for his knife. No, he's going to go there. And he's actually just trying to buy the dip. Now, if that isn't your priority, if you're a leveraged degen trader or you're a degen crypto trader, if that's not your priority, you need to reshift your priorities. Okay, we got to get it right for you. You need to be buying that dip whenever you can, in spite of that ugly crocodile. And Miles posted this really nicely as well. He says a few green candles is all it takes for everyone to FOMO back in. And he is so not wrong. I mean, I absolutely love this. And I wonder if we're going to get a Lord of Entry one of these. I actually asked the meme master to make me one. But look at that. It's so over. We're so back. We're so back. It's over again. And this is the cycle time and time again. I mean, and it's amazing in crypto that, you know, we can get slapped around and abused for absolute weeks. And they give us like a 5% pump. And we're like, we're so back. We're all good. Everything's fine again. And, you know, that is the cycle. So hopefully I'm going to get from the meme master. Hopefully I'm going to get my own one. I'm quite keen on getting a couple of faces there going on. Then DB dropped today. SEC launches a cyber and emerging tech unit. Now, SEC cyber unit will combat fraud in crypto, among other areas. Okay, so the SEC really coming to the party here. They are really trying to do the good things that I think people want. And I think this Libra situation, yes, sir.
Are they starting with the presidential rug pulls? Go after the people responsible, or?
Of course not. Why would they do? What do you mean? It's
just the rest of us plebs, huh?
Look, that would be, I mean, that's a very good point. I mean, that's for another day. Okay, but anyway, on paper, okay, in terms of optics, things are looking good. Okay, now Binance has resumed USD deposits and withdrawals for the first time since February 23. I would say that makes bullish sense as well in the crypto market. So this just adds to the catalyst that we looked at yesterday as to why things could be potentially bullish. And then Uncle Donald said he signed executives' orders to end Joe Biden's war on Bitcoin and crypto. We ended the war totally. That war is over. If you want to hear what he has to say, let's bang this out quickly.
The United States at the forefront of artificial intelligence, and to end Joe Biden's war on Bitcoin and crypto. We ended that war totally. That war is over. They were very hostile toward them until the very end, just because there's so many people on Bitcoin and crypto that just before the end, the SEC came out and they were being very nice. I was so nice to people because so many people were being indicted for no reason whatsoever. Very political group of people.
Okay, yeah, you get the picture, but that seems to be relatively bullish for us as well. And then anyone wondering what Trump has done over the last 30 days, well, Cointelegraph put it together quite nicely. SEC changes leadership and shifts crypto approach. Nice. Task force tackles crypto policy led by the new commissioner. Silk Road founder Ulbricht gets his pardon. We spoke about that shame, the poor guy in his prison plant, in that photo when he walked out and he just had his prison plant. What else we got? Trump establishes a crypto working group under crypto and AI captain David Sachs. We saw that. That was a boring press conference. Senate confirms pro-crypto U.S. Treasury Secretary. We can see Doge is setting to take a crack at the SEC. Guys, it's all going down, okay? And I see Shakespeare's pipe wants a bit of theta again, okay? Bro, we'll get there. We'll get to your theta at some point. This man loves his theta. I wonder what... he must have some big theta bags, James? I mean, this guy's got... must have lots of theta. Okay, so Nick Tumorus says, Fed minutes. Okay, so we had the Fed minutes last night, in case anyone's wondering. Not much news on rates. We were saying, we could have some hawkish things, could have some dovish things. It was going to affect the market. And he said, not much news on rates. It's wait and see until there's something to see. But the Fed discussed possibly pausing or slowing their balance sheet runoff pending resolutions of the debt limit, given the potential for big swings in reserve balances. Some people are starting to say, does that mean quantitative easing is going to be coming back, James? This year?
This year? I think at the end of the year, maybe. It's not anytime soon, but tightening, stopping is at least a good thing. Just stop the damn tightening, right? And everyone's like, oh, they're stopping tightening. Easing's on the way. Well, not right away necessarily, but at least the tightening's done.
Okay, so Jerome Powell actually said very clearly a few weeks back, he said when the interest rates are at 0 is when he's looking at doing that QE again. So something to watch. Let's not get euphoric about a couple of tweets about this, the hype. Okay, so that's what I'm saying here, guys. It's not definitely on. Okay, and so watching that closely. Then Colin Rugg says the Trump admin. This is James's tinfoil shit. Come here, bro. Come here. What's going on here? Take me through this quickly. What is this? What's going on here?
Yeah, well, this is the man talking about, everyone's talking about this Doge dividend, right? Excited that they're looking at giving 20% of the savings that Musk is finding in all this waste and sending it back to Americans, $5,000 per household, all this stuff. But this man here has just been confirmed, and he's saying that Trump is aiming to completely get rid of income taxes in the entire country. And they did fire 6,000 IRS agents today, too. So it looks like this is actually the plan. And Trump talked about this up front, said that, during his rallies before the election that, maybe we can get rid of income tax and we can run the country off tariffs like we used to back prior to 1913.
Okay, so guys, I don't know. I'm not in America. I can't really comment that much, but that sounds pretty intense. If you're going to wipe out income tax and rely on tariffs, I don't know. Something to think about, but it's a little bit left field. Okay, it's a little bit wild. Okay, let's go. I mean, it could obviously pump the markets, but right now the S&P actually a little bit weak at the moment on the daily. So you can see we've got some weakness here, and it appears that we've printed some bearish divergence. Look at that, price going higher, oscillator turning slightly lower there. So there's a hint of bearish divergence here on the daily for us, and we're going to watch this closely. If we get a daily close under these types of levels, we're probably heading lower on that S&P. Now, interesting to see what will happen to crypto if the S&P starts melting down a little bit there. So eyes on this, guys. Let's watch this the 6,060 level. If we start closing under these types of zones, it could be a bit of a messy couple of days on the way for us. So something to watch. Now, okay, we're still short. We good. No reason to panic just yet. In terms of the liquidity that I wanted to talk to you guys about. Now, I dropped this in Hackers this morning in my morning market update. So everybody gets a market update from me. And yesterday, I also spoke about, it looks like the move was up. Yesterday, we were saying we're looking for upside BTC. The reason being that liquidity was sitting so nice and high. So you'll remember we went through these charts yesterday. We looked at that liquidity. Now we've actually taken it out. So other than one more push, maybe on this 3-day liquidation heat map, other than one more push to say 98,500, maybe 98,800, it looks like all the fun is now to the downside. Okay, so we're going to just watch this closely over the next couple of days. Obviously, if we just start squeezing higher today, we're going to reassess tomorrow what is going down with that liquidity. But look, very juicy down below 94K. That is untouched at the moment. Is that something that we need to watch? I see @Zen is actually sending us down at the moment. Well, you can see this is like a little bit of a magnet, I would say. Now, in terms of bullish things, now there's a multiple arguments here for bulls and bears. Okay, so as long as we keep a rational thought process behind everything, we don't go too bullish, we don't go too bearish. Let's just look at things logically, what's in front of us. What do we know? In the last couple of days, there's been loads of bullish catalysts in the market. I've just shown you a few more, but I mean, we even had Saylor yesterday talking about $2 billion again to buy some more BTC. So there's a lot of positives now in the market again for crypto. Now, if we take a look on the shorter time frames, we can see, we're rejecting in certain areas and we get short-term pullbacks. But in terms of the daily chart, if we have to be, if we have to be objective here, we are picking up bullish divergence on the daily. So there is a possibility here that the low for this current move might actually be in, and that low is 93,300. That could be the low. And, if we do get a pullback, we might be grinding higher until this divergence finishes playing out. So we could have a couple of days where we see quite a bullish Bitcoin grinding higher. So that is on the table for us. And 𝗬𝗓𝗍, I see Sonic ripping again. I keep feeling like I fumble that Sonic every single time. It starts ripping a little bit early. Every time I think I'm going to get myself some Sonic, that thing starts ripping. But fortunately, guys, we are talking about that today. I've even got a DeFi play on Sonic for you that not many people know about. And if Sonic starts taking off, you might want to pay attention just now. Okay. Okay, Bitcoin on the daily. What is the game plan? Oscillator says bullish divergence on the daily. That's a good sign for us. Let's just see out of interest what our oscillator says to us on the 3-day. Are we getting any clues here? Not really. Okay, there is divergence there, but it's not as clear as the daily. Okay, so that looks decent for us on the daily. We can see that we might get some more upside moves. If that plays out, what do we need to watch? What do we need to do? And when are we super bullish? When do we say that this rally is real? So what I would like to see personally is a very hard push, like a proper hard push on BTC. Most likely a squeeze up to anything in this type of region there. Maybe 102,600 to 103K, somewhere in that type of region. That would be a beautiful hard move. If we can get that in the space of a day or something like that on BTC, then I would say we're pretty comfortable, because we'll probably have a 0.5 or a 618 down here ready and waiting for some kind of long later on. That is where, we can start saying, okay, we've broken the 50-day moving average. We've broken hardcore daily levels at 99 to 100K. We've broken the trend. Now we can look for this retest and look to buy with confidence. Now, obviously, if the bulls don't step in, well, then it's over and we get rinsed and we're going back down to 72K or something along those lines. But in terms of what I want to see, a hard break of 99 to 100K, I want to see a rejection somewhere, 102, 103, and then we're going to have a nice support base from 99 to 100 to start looking for some buys. So that is my bull case on BTC. Anything in between, for me, really, it's noise. Okay, it's noise in the zone. It's chop, and unless these alts really start firing here, I would start just being cautious again. Happy to look for head shorts again. Happy to take profit on some of these moves. You'll see if you traded SPX 6900 today or Giga, you would have seen we had massive rejections after beautiful pumps, and these conditions feels like they are here to stay until proven otherwise. So for me, I want to see Bitcoin above 99 or 100K. Then we start talking about being super bullish there. Until then, I'm not sure if I trust it completely. Now, in terms of altcoins and just the market as a whole, Marty Party did drop this little sprinkling of bull sauce. Whale clips. Coinbase received 690 million USDC, and this follows Binance receiving 800 million USDT. Okay, so that is normally positive, and we know what Binance were doing not too long ago. They sold all their reserves, and it looks like they are now buying it back. And if they start buying it back, it pumps the candle, retail gets involved, blah, 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 blah. You know the story. Okay, so do you concur? Tinfoil had enough?
Yeah, when I saw another tweet of his earlier today saying that they've been doing this for 4 cycles now. They go and dump the stuff, they cause mass panic, they get rid of their stuff, and they buy it back cheaper. Every time you see those prints, it's them buying back everything they just dumped. Yeah.
Good traders. Imagine you can control so much stock that you just control the market. So you're like, let's make some profit here. Let's dump everything. Let everyone panic. Everyone sells. Everyone gets wiped out. You buy the bottom. You send the candle, and retail goes, and they push it back up, and you sell the top again. Okay.
Rinse and repeat.
Yes. So instead of buying the top, selling the bottom, they're
doing it the right way. The rest of us are doing it wrong.
They're doing it the correct way. Okay, they're doing it the correct way. I wonder if they've got wrecked shirts. Hey?
I don't think so. I think they just have rich shirts.
Okay, so that is what's going on. We know when there is a liquidity injection like that, we tend to get some kind of market move. And this was late yesterday. And you have seen now, Bitcoin has moved nicely today. We've had decent results on some of these tokens. So things are are looking good here. One thing we need to pay attention to, folks, is Bitcoin dominance. We are still pushing into our resistance band, the 61.5%. We covered this yesterday. Remember, we don't mind if dominance is pumping as long as Bitcoin is going up. Okay, if Bitcoin is going up, we are happy with dominance pumping. It's less abusive to our altcoins. The problem comes if Bitcoin is rejecting and starting to fall over and dominance starts rising. That is where we start feeling a little bit of heat there with some of these altcoins. So just another heads up, we are pushing into our rejection zone at 61.5%. Ideally, we get that rejection again. You can see we rejected there beautifully yesterday. Ideally, we get it one more time here and these alts get a move up. If not, okay, we are pushing into 62.3%, and that is going to be your next rejection zone where you're looking for some alt plays there. When hackers merge, Matty, it's on its way, bro. It's literally around the corner. It's at the printers now. Okay, we're going to do something special for our hackers members that have been around for a long enough time. You're going to get sent. You're going to get sent some of these. You're going to get sent some of the other cool phrases that we got going on some of these shirts. It's coming in hot for you guys. Okay, so dominance. You understand what we want to see. And let's just look at dominance in terms of the daily oscillator. Look, it was looking bearish over there. Okay, now we pushed lower, but you can see dominance is actually now turning up on the daily. Not the best sign. Let's look at it on the weekly quickly. And you can see that weekly's printing a reversal there for us. So that is quite a nice start there for us. And 𝗙𝗢𝗟 says rinse incoming. Guys, well, look. As long as you're prepared, head short zones. That's the game plan, okay? Hackers got a ton of head shorts areas. Let's see if some of these are going to start playing out for us. Okay, so dominance, you understand. Let's talk total 3. These are all our altcoins again. Just a reminder, this is the no euphoria zone. We are under major resistance, okay? We cannot be too bullish here. We're under this major resistance. When we start settling above this 900 billion level, I spoke about this yesterday, then we can start inching towards being a little bit more bullish. And then obviously when we break the 50-day and that 100-day MA, when we're above that 970, then we are probably in a space where we can start getting a little bit more aggressive, because by then the market is turning euphoric. By then everyone is pumping up massive amounts of leverage. They're getting super aggressive, and then the trading becomes nice and easy, and everyone just follows long, and things just pump. Okay, but make sure you are paying attention, because I'll tell you when it's going to fall over. Well, hopefully we will get it when it's going to fall over. So that is what we're watching there on total 3, but bearish until proven otherwise, as usual. Now, interesting here, ETH has hit absolute rock bottom on fees. Dupes posted this today. Their lowest since July 2020. I mean, this is crazy. Like, nobody uses this shit anymore.
No, I don't know. I mean, I see all this institutional buying of this stuff, but there's just no retail interest whatsoever. Everybody's just giving up on the shit.
Yeah, it's like it was NFTs that made ETH so aggressive the previous time. Never forget that.
Memes with Sol this time around, and that's part of the reason Sol's done so well, because it was the gas that the memes ran on.
Yes, that's exactly what pumped it. I was buying spaceships for like 2 ETH, 3 ETH, and I thought they were really good value. Okay, those spaceships are 0 now. Okay, so I mean that is what pumped ETH. So what is going to be the catalyst to pump ETH, guys? I mean the fees are at absolute lows. Who knows? Okay, but it's something we need to pay attention to. It is always when things hit rock bottom, is there a bounce? Because maybe these guys just aren't smart, or maybe they are way smarter than everyone else that's not buying ETH, because another $19 million inflow of ETH. Fidelity keeps on buying ETH for the ETFs, okay? These things are going down. All the institutions are buying. It's all going down. BlackRock are buying. Trump is buying. What do they know that we don't know? What do they know? Are they just teeing up for the biggest giga rally in history? Now, I'm not going to pump those spaceships, bro. Hey, pump those spaceships. Get me out of 0. They literally went to 0. Fucking hell. Adam, did you also trade some spaceships there, bro? Okay, so ETH, I'm not going to look at the 5-day chart. We know this one. I'm going to give you the less boring version. Okay, you can see we've got super tight here. Wow. At some point, we're going to get a really explosive move out of ETH. Whether it's up or whether it's down, it's coming. It's going to be an absolute banger out of ETH at some point. Just be ready. My strategy, no changes. 2.6, 2.5, 2.4. That's where I'm buying ETH. Okay, if we go lower down, we'll have to make a plan. But 2.6, 2.5, 624, that is where it's at for me, guys. Remember, all these charts go straight into Chart Hackers during or after the show, and you will catch them there. So that is my game plan on ETH. Looking out for that upside. When do we turn bullish on ETH? Exactly the same as those altcoins. We need to break big levels, okay? If we start holding above that 200-day MA, then I start getting a little bit more bullish on this thing, and then we start adding to those positions. But right now, you can see tight range. At some point, there's going to be a massive move come on ETH, and let's see if we're going to be ready. Again, don't know if it's up, don't know if it's down, but it's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. And let's see. Syed says his nose is outside in Earth, in ETH, for breathing. Rest is drowned. It sounds like he's an ETH man. Now, 𝗩𝗩𝗪𝗩 says, do not buy meme coins. Buy SOL and hold until the Fed enters quantitative easing and take profit at the top of the cycle. He makes it sound so simple. But what about all the fun in between? Okay, like, what are you going to do? Buy SOL and then never look at the market again? How? That's not fun. Okay, but it's probably smart. Okay, and he says that's the recipe. And he says, oh, well, follow me. Okay, he'll let you know when the Fed ends quantitative tightening, which seems like it's around the corner, when they announce the QE, which seems like it's only when interest rates are 0%. So wait for next year. Okay, possibly 2026. And Hash says ETH is going to fly again. And he says when the cycle is nearing the top, he's going to let you know. Okay, so nice mixed bags of things from 𝗩𝗩𝗪𝗪. But guys, yeah, I mean, it's up to you if you want to have fun. And you can see what he's got to say about SOL. Now, in terms of SOL versus ETH, it looks like, I spoke about this yesterday, we may be having a bounce. You can see we have turned a little bit green, and we are in one of my beautiful areas where we get reactions, and that is exactly why this thing is reacting here at the moment. So in terms of the reversal on the daily, I'm expecting some kind of short-term reversal on SOL versus ETH, even if that's just a move up to there, and then we get the real move to the downside. Something along those lines is what I'm looking at. So right now, you might want to be favoring SOL over ETH based on the fact that this thing could be bouncing in the near term. And then as far as SOL is concerned, no changes to our SOL trade. And, I'm still looking for this bigger move into 184. I think we're going to get a beautiful rejection in that zone. Could be a nice short area for us too, but we need to let this thing play out. It's been super slow, quite a boring trade since we got into it, and still waiting for some kind of reversal here. We're probably going to get a divergence print, and then that should give SOL a little bit more energy. But for me, anything from 184 to about 189 is my actual target now for SOL, and we're going to have to see if we're going to eventually get it out of that. Again, not ready to add to this position yet. If we get more weakness, I'll probably look at starting to add a little bit to that SOL position. Let's see how it goes. And if things get really desperate, guys, remember, you can always do this, and then the market typically will bounce for you. Okay, I've done this multiple times now, and we did get bounces out of it whenever we did it. Now, Miles says today, the top performing L1s in the past 24 hours on new blockchain ecosystems. Interesting. When markets shift risk on, people will always look for new shiny things to trade. Okay. Story, that's that IP situation you saw pumping today on Banter Bubbles. Berachain, 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, and Sonic. Okay, so I thought today, let's cover Sonic because this has been so topical. This thing's been absolutely banging, and a new record in Sonic Labs flows. So Intern cooked up a guide for y'all. Okay, so anyway, they've got a new record intake in flows. This thing is now cooking at the moment, and things are looking hot, and you can see in terms of the chart, this thing is off the charts. I mean, this thing is absolutely ripping at the moment. And the first thing I want to say, as tempting as it might be, and as horrible as it's going to be looking on these oscillators, I would be careful here trying to short this thing. Let's not try and be smarter than the rest of the market trying to trying to pump this Sonic here at the moment. Okay, let's just let it play out. Okay, so what I would suggest here, number one, this is a danger zone. We are pointing a danger zone, but for me, I'm a little bit cautious. I don't want to get rinsed on Sonic here. We know this is a big danger zone. This is the old Phantom chart I'm using. Remember, Sonic is the old Phantom. Okay, remember that? So I'm using the old Phantom chart for history, and 0.848 is a big danger zone here for us. And I've written here, danger zone for bulls, possible short zone. Now, obviously, you can get a hardcore sell-off here on this thing, but we've seen situations where when it got aggressive like this, now I wasn't expecting it to get this aggressive, but when it got aggressive like this previously in November 24, look what happened. We printed that reversal, but this thing kept on going. So here we are printing a reversal. There is a possibility that this thing just keeps on going. So 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏, let's pamp it. So yeah, I'm not that super keen on trying to short this thing, but in terms of a TP zone, if you are long this thing on high leverage and stuff like that, it's reasonable. 84, 85, reasonable area that you want to look for some kind of short there on Phantom or on Sonic. So how do we do that? Well, shorting, you want to look at the lower time frames when it pumps into resistance, and you can see we are printing various levels of divergence. Look at this. It's screaming at us all these previous times, and we're not getting the major reversal we're looking for. So what I'm saying is just be careful here, guys. So you might want to be favoring longs in a situation like this. So when you eventually get your rejection on S, okay, take your fib all the way to the top. Wherever it rejects, you're going to drag this thing higher, and then you're going to start hunting confluence zones. You're going to start hunting areas where you get tie in with horizontals and things like that. You want to start hunting those types of zones. Once you get that rejection, then you can reasonably start looking for some kind of new long. So ultimately, it depends where it rejects. So it might reject higher up, it might reject here, but when it does, then you're going to start looking at these types of areas for possible longs on the way down. And you can see at the moment, we can see these levels, 76, 71, and 63. Those are the levels based on what we're looking at right now for Sonic. Those are the reasonable bounce zone or reasonable long zones that I would suggest. In terms of jumping into Sonic now, absolutely not. Okay, this is proper resistance, all these things. It would be highly, it's not an advisable thing to do, to jump into green candles like that at major resistance. Obviously, these things can carry on for extended period of time, but if you want to protect your risk, I wouldn't do that. So look for pullbacks, look for moves lower down. Right now, it's these levels that I've just given you. And if we do push higher, you're just going to keep dragging these fibs higher up, and you want to just tie them in to any pullbacks there. And the more confluence you have on those pullbacks, the better for you guys. So you've got your levels. These will go into chart hackers in the next 30 minutes. This will be here. Now, if you're looking for an ecosystem that's pumping, what can you do? The same old system. You go meme coins, okay, if you're still brave enough, and you go DeFi plays. Now, there's a DeFi play, and I'm pretty sure I did mention this to you guys before, but this thing is called Shadow, and it's on Sonic. It's DeFi, it's a DEX on Sonic, and I mean, I think I actually brought this to you guys at a $10 million market cap. It's now sitting at a $30 million market cap, and it might still have room to grow. The catch with the Sonic or the Shadow exchange is that it's quite difficult to buy. So it's not on an exchange yet. You got to go through a couple of hoops to get hold of it, but here it is. Okay, you can see it's pumping 35%, $37 million market cap. This thing is getting aggressive, and you're going to have to do it with the correct wallets and stuff like that, but I'm sprinkling this here for you guys again. And what was that there? What was that comment, James? We are fucked. We are so scared of positive news. Look, guys, I feel that way too. I mean, it's every time something good's happened, they've just come and slammed us even harder. So you're absolutely forgiven for having a little bit of PTSD there. But anyway, guys, if you want a lower cap gem that might do something for you, I brought this to you at 10 million. Here it is at $37 million. Maybe it goes higher. Let's see how it goes. Okay, let's talk about other old ones that have just been, reinvented. And Pro Boy Shahir Panda, hello, my sir. Hello, Captain. Thank you for joining us. Tower, okay, 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗏, okay, whatever you want to call it. This was the higher time frame chart sitting at in my section in chart hackers. Okay, in my section there, I've got long-term charts, I've got trading setups, I've got daily market updates. So this chart's been sitting there in my section. This was a right shoulder that I was interested in earlier on Monday. I was saying looking for some kind of bounce there, possible right shoulder. And what I like to do here for the hackers, guys, is highlight key levels. So if we get bounces, these are typically the zones that we look for action on those things. So right shoulder came into play on 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗏. This thing is pumped nicely. There is a lot of news around it as well, and there's a lot of interest in the ecosystem currently. But in terms of what you want to do now, look, it hasn't pumped as hard as Sonic, and it's also pushing into quite a big danger zone. So in terms of a rejection, this thing looks like it's almost due some kind of pullback now. This is a big, big area for us. So anything from 466 to 510, is quite a hot zone. It's a danger zone there. I would be cautious with new longs in that area. For me, I'd like to see new longs once we're getting support in those types of regions. So if it's going to be a new long, you want it to break through, then you're looking support around 480, 490. If you get that, then we can start talking new trades for Tower. But in terms of where it's at now, danger zone, you can see my quantum reactor acting as resistance. Look how beautifully this reactor works. Look at that. Support, and then it turned into resistance again. Here we are, quantum reactor as resistance again for us. So this 500, 510 level, danger zone for Tower. Rather look for a pullback in this type of area. Could be a head short zone for you guys as well. And then you want to send that thing probably to about 400. Looks reasonable there for me. And look, 350 would be dreamy, but that would be a proper sell-off on BTC. But in terms of a short-term dip, 420, 400 makes sense to me on Tower. Okay, so look out for that. If you do get a monster pump out of the market, where's your next short zone? 585. Look out, 585 is your next short zone on Tower that you're going to pay attention to. Now, let's talk something we don't cover too often. Now, we're also going to update yesterday's meme coins, SPX 69, whatever, Giga, Fartcoin. I've got updates for you. I've still got the Brett chart for you we're going to talk about. But something we never speak about is Say. And I thought today's the day. Say was pumping. And let's cover what is going on. World Liberty Financial spent 125K USDC. That's fucking nothing. Okay, but the market loved that. Okay, I mean, can you believe it? They buy a little sprinkling. I mean, they bought $400 million.
Compared, look at the holdings they have and how many millions and millions, and they bought 125K. That's like $5 to us.
Yeah, it's an absolute waste. But the market,
it's on the balance sheet. They're just excited, right? Maybe this gets on. Is Say an American coin? I know nothing about the thing.
To be honest, I actually couldn't tell you that answer.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, they're buying it, so I would say it must be. Okay. And they bought a little bit, I don't know. Can you get excited about a tiny sprinkling like that? Now, Masari says average monthly gaming transactions on Say Network up 1,600%, quarter on quarter to 2.9 million. Now, who would have thought, unless you're, say, like proper community member here, that these guys got gaming transactions?
Yeah, I didn't even know there was games on Say. I had no idea.
Okay, now look at this. Say Games. Is Say Games still the narrative? Say's gaming ecosystem had a huge year in 24. Okay, transactions growing 1,600% in a few months. But how are the top games doing now? Top 10 games. Have you heard of Piratopia? It must be cell phone games. Shadow Mysteries.
I'm wondering. I saw when we looked this up just there, they look like pretty basic kind of games, right? But a lot of these crypto games are.
Yeah, but they must be. Well, look, maybe they're on cell phones, guys. I don't know. I don't even know where you find these things, but here they are. Okay, so there is stuff going on. People are obviously getting involved in this, unless it's a ton of bots and things like that. But there's obviously transactions, and they're generating revenue here. So that is actually quite interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. So if you want to play Say, okay, there's a couple of things going on. Now I've broken down the chart for you guys, and you can see what's happening. Say is actually pretty bearish on the daily in terms of the fact that it's lost major levels. You can see I've highlighted these levels here. We've lost the levels, and now we're busy with a retest. So when we see that information, we know, okay, Say is actually at resistance, and very similar to BTC. Look at that. Our daily oscillator is looking quite good. That thing's looking much more bullish than it was previously. It's looking like it wants to get a little bit more aggressive, and that tells me that there's potentially a move coming for Say of 17%. From here to 29. Well, it's now a little bit lower because this thing is pumping. So up to about the 29 level is what you're going to be watching for Say in terms of a trade. So we're pretty close, but how do you get that trade? How do you play it? You got to go a little bit DJ. And there's a couple of things working against Say at the moment. Now, not saying this thing cannot pump. So I'm going to give you degen levels like I gave you with Sonic. If this thing starts pumping like Sonic did the other day, it's going to respect some of these degen levels that you can use, and then you're going to get a nice quick and sharp move to higher areas. So if you're a filthy degen, okay, there might be 13% here for you. Your support is 2.5. Okay, watch 2.5. Use that as your support. 2.5. That's horizontals. That's the VWAP from the highs, and that's your 236 fib. So 25. Okay, so if you are in a position on Say now, that's 4% risk to the downside. Your upside play is potentially 13%. That's for the filthiest degens out there. The calmer people, okay, what you want to do is identify what you see. What do you see in front of you? A reversal potentially on the oscillator on the 2 hour. Let's look at the 4 hour. Reversal on the 4 hour potentially. Let's look at the 1. Okay, big reversal in play here, but turning up. Okay, so you might get another short-term push out of this thing, but we know the bigger picture here tells us it's not the sharpest thing to do here to be taking on risk. If we use the history of the oscillator, every time we've seen these things, and we can backtest this oscillator a gazillion times, but if you use this information, it generally has some kind of pullback after it prints these reversals. Now, not every time, okay, not every single time. We obviously have moments where if it's dropping and the market's dumping and we're saying this thing could reverse to the upside and it drops another 10 or 15%, that happens. The same thing can happen to the upside. So this thing can aggressively move now a little bit more as well. So just as a guide in terms of what I like to look for, this thing is turning over. But in terms of a degen situation and in terms of some pumpage, this thing can rip from here, okay? So 0.25, use that as support. That is your risk. Your upside is probably 11%, give or take, and I would be super careful in that region. Okay, so look out there. That's a rejection zone for me on say. Let's see. If you get into that area by tomorrow on the show, we'll deal with it. But in terms of the next supports to the downside, guys, 2-4, watch that. And watch 23. Those are the most reasonable bounce zones for me. Those are the bullish zones for me, 2-4 and 2-3, if there is some kind of hardcore rejection. So look out there. Those are the civilized levels. The degen level, 25, okay, 11% upside, 4% risk. Knock yourself out if you're happy to take that risk on. Sky, that is actually a banger. And I didn't make squeaky bum t-shirts. I made banger. I made invalidated. I made a couple of good ones, but I actually didn't do squeaky bum. I think I need to deliver that. Okay, so say let's see how it goes, and then let's see what is going on here. So what have I got? Okay, so I've opened a flow key position at the moment on LBank. And I mean, this is actually shocking, guys, that I'm leading the LBank competition. Okay, this is actually ridiculous, and I need the community to step in here. We need this community to step in here. Guys, do something. Okay, we're going to talk about this now. Okay, here's Floki. I've taken a Floki long. I dropped this in Chart Hackers earlier today. I said, is this round 2 coming? So in case it is round 2, I am long Floki. Okay. Then I've got Fartcoin running on here for my next gig. I dropped this in Hackers earlier as well. I'm going to show you that chart. There's Sui from yesterday, and there's a Popcat long from Hackers earlier. I've been adding little bits today in case we do get some kind of pump. Okay, so that is the current LBank situation that I'm trading at the moment. Remember, LBank is one of our new trading partners, and on top of the other exchanges that we use, LBank have been kind enough to give me a competition for my community. This lasts now until next week, so you got lots of time. The barrier to entry is so small, it's $50 to trade in my competition, and it's a P&L competition. That is all you need to do. So if you are watching the show or you're in Chart Hackers, join the competition. Let's trade this thing. It's a P&L comp, guys, and they're giving away $2,000 first prize, $1,000 second prize. James, am I right? 2,000, 1,000,
and 800, isn't it, for the third?
So, guys, we'll confirm it. Okay, but they're giving away money. Okay, it's like literally they're throwing money at you guys and to come and trade with us. So here it is, LBank. Jump into the show description. Just go into under the show. Okay, well you go into the show. There it is. Okay, then you go under the show. You click on more. Okay, there it is. And then you're going to look and you're going to sign up to LBank. Now, these guys are going to give you a 50% trading bonus. So if you put in $500, they're giving you $250. If you put in 1,000, they're giving you $500, a trading bonus that you can use towards that competition. Okay, so that's what you need to do for LBank. And there I am. Okay, guys, I mean, this is ridiculous. I'm going to have to stop trading now. I'm coming first. Okay, and yeah, we go first to 77%, 31%. And 29%. Okay, we got to really up our game here for the hackers. Obviously, I won't take the prize. If I win it, I'll give it away, obviously. Yes, sir.
In all fairness, the market's been shit.
It has been shit.
Price action, I think this will change quite a bit.
Okay. But guys, there you go. Okay, so come and hang out and trade this LBank competition with me. You can see Altcoins ripping. I dropped that trade in 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗓𝗏. Okay, I mean, I dropped the setup there. Altcoins a bit bearish on the 1 and 2. Might get a short-term scalp. There it is. Okay, there it is for you. Yeah, okay. In 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗏𝗧. And James says virtuals is about to rip. James, must we go long virtuals, bro? Shall we see? Let's go. Let's quickly look at virtuals here. Let's look at virtuals. James wants us the long virtuals here. Okay, let's clean this thing. Let's get a quick chart here. James, how hard are we ripping here? How hard? What's his name? James 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗪. Okay, how hard are we going here, bro? Okay, let's see what we got. So virtuals AI agent play. Guys, remember, super volatile. In terms of that, a little bit bearish on the 1. Let's see on the 15. Maybe we get a move here. Okay, 15 still turning up. Okay, look, so James, I think it can. Okay, I think it can rip with this market. But in terms of, I'd be careful. So I would watch, James. I would watch 9.9 as your horizontal, and I would watch that 200-day as the target. So look out there, and then you can see I've got order blocks up there as well. So we're looking for that, something along those lines, and something along those lines is what you're going to be watching if it does rip. Your support is 998. So keep your eyes on that. Okay. Okay. So Altcoin is going Floki. I'll show you the Floki chart. Let's talk 𝗬𝗢𝗏 from yesterday. So remember what I said to you guys on 𝗬𝗢𝗏. I didn't want to exit this thing until there was a candle close under that 3.12. And you can see what they did yesterday. Anybody that was watching, look at that. They tapped 3.12 and they sent it again. So for me, it's not an exit unless we get a close on those areas. Obviously, sometimes if you wait for a close, you get absolutely rinsed. Okay, and then they send it lower, but more often than not, they come and do liquidity hunts and things like that in certain zones, and then they push it off again. So in terms of 𝗬𝗢𝗏, where am I looking to close that? For me, 𝗬𝗢𝗏, that is still my target. So if all goes well, we're going to close the 𝗬𝗢𝗏 at about 3.6, 3.7. Let's see. You know, what we do is we keep dragging our fibs higher up, and we're going to just start identifying our support. So in terms of 𝗬𝗢𝗏, now for me, if we close under 3.21, I'm probably going to cut that 𝗬𝗢𝗏 position. So that is how I'm going to play that. 3.21 now. Let this thing grind higher, and I'm going to TP this thing 3.6 to 3.7. I'm out of the 𝗬𝗢𝗏 trade. So hopefully some of you guys did get a piece of that. Here is Floki. And this is what I said in Chart Hackers earlier today, very much earlier today. I said, is this round 2? Okay, so here it is. I'm watching Floki on the 1 hour. This might be reversing to the upside. This is our 1 hour. And already earlier today, that 15-minute was printing divergence, but we weren't getting strong signals out of the higher time frame. So let's just take a look at... Yeah, not great. So earlier today, we printed divergence over there. We got that move, but it was quite a weak move. But in terms of the 1 hour, this thing is starting to push a little bit for us. So my stop loss on 𝗬𝗢𝗏 is going to be underneath those lows. Not 𝗬𝗢𝗏, sorry, Floki. Let's click on that. Okay, there's my stop loss on Floki. 9218 is my stop loss. 9218. Is what I'm watching there on Floki. So that is my stop. If this thing runs a little bit more, I'm going to start bringing the stop higher, and you can actually use the lows there. You could probably use 9375 as a potential stop on Floki if you are interested. And where can Floki go? Well, let's just take a look quickly. Upside moves, you want to try and just send it to the highs. So 102 for me on Floki. 102 makes sense as a possible region. Okay, just protect yourselves with a stop loss. If we do get a rejection, then obviously we're gonna get smashed. And what's going on with Celestia? That absolute shitcoin is. Don't tell me it's pumping. Don't tell me it's pumping.
What are they saying? Sure, I haven't looked at.
Yeah. Okay, Starbuck. Well, we'll one day we'll revive Celestia. So just an update on yesterday. There was FUD on XPS 6900 on Mirad's tokens. That obviously played into Giga. It played into a couple of other tokens. So it made sense to maybe look at some longs yesterday after the FUD, and that's exactly what we did. And we had some amazing moves yesterday. So in terms of Giga, I think we looked at Giga around about that type of region over there. Then there was a little bit of a sell-off, and then there was a beautiful pump yesterday. So what did Giga give us? It gave us 24%. Okay, we can't argue with 24%. And what happens next for Giga? So this was obviously a banger, and we don't want to get too euphoric now. This is the problem. Our oscillator is starting to look like it wants to flip bearish. Okay, so we need to be careful, but it's the same setup as Altcoin that I took earlier. We saw the 15 minutes was looking for a reversal. When things are super bullish, you can start looking at 15-minute candle reversals on your oscillator. Look at that. So we had a big sell-off. Look at that. Printed the divergence, had a massive sell-off. Now we printed bullish again. Where did we print bullish? Just a key lesson here for everybody. Where did we print bullish? On our 382, on our horizontal. What happens? Bounce. Okay. I know sometimes it really does look simple because it really is that simple. Obviously, sometimes it doesn't work. But if you do it time and time again, you will see consistently these things reverse on key levels. And here we reversed on a 382 at the same time that we were getting our divergence and reversal print. And that will give you a trigger for some kind of move to the upside. Okay. So Giga, in terms of support now, 0.025. What do we do right now? If you're trying to jump in now, well, you have a little bit of danger because your 1 hour says a little bit bearish. So that could be something like this. It could be a short-term pump and then another rejection. So just be careful. If you're jumping into longs, when you're seeing these oscillators look like that, these double tops on these oscillators, it could be a sign that, there might be rinsage around the corner. So just be careful on those areas and obviously try and play your rejections when you get to major horizontals. Okay, so Giga, nice move. I hope you guys got it. Anyone in the chats get Giga yesterday? SPX 6900. I know DJ and Dave dropped that long in Chart Hackers this morning. He dropped it before he went to bed. And then that thing pumped 20 or 25%. And John, we're going to have to take a look at Maker. I'm getting, I think I actually closed that one earlier. We're getting a bit smashed on that Maker. We're going to have to look at it. Okay, let's go. Floki we covered, Giga we covered. Okay, let's talk SPX 6900. This thing also, big move yesterday. Bullish divergence in play for us. So looking nice on the 12-hour. That looks great. In terms of high leverage degen stuff, you've got to be careful now. This is the 12-hour chart I'm watching. Your risk to the lows is about 8% that you need to pay attention to. But in terms of upside targets, that still is in play for me, that 84 region on SPX 6900. So 84 is still a reasonable target here, as long as we can hold these lows at about 65. For example, you want to be watching that. But in terms of the 12-hour, if you did buy this on spot or very low margin, that looks good. Okay, 12-hour looks good. And Rid got some Giga this morning. That's nice. And Yumi says she needs to move to the SA time zone so she doesn't miss entries. Guys, put your alarms on the Hackers Discord and make sure you're following the correct channels. Okay, this is my trading setups channel. There's lots going on here. Okay, and even this is very important. When I posted this PopCat trade today, I said, this is the most important information. I said, very important you watch the video with the PopCat chart in front of you. Now, why is this important? Oh, wait, we got to find this. Wait, hold on. Chart Hackers got it on there.
Yeah, no sound there.
Play. Yeah, no, it didn't play. All right. Okay, no, it's very important we find this stuff. Okay, I'm going to try and pull it up for you in a second when we do some PopCat. Okay, so SPX is looking good. All right, well, here's PopCat. Okay, so guys, in terms of PopCat, this is the plan. Now, we are pushing into resistance for the umpteenth time today. Okay, this is a danger zone for us there on PopCat 245. That is a danger zone there. And when we break that, we've got new targets for you. But this is the catch. Look at this thing. It's looking super bearish. So if you are jumping into fresh longs now, okay, you need to be careful. This is not a good look. And I know these alts can blow through this stuff just as easily, but I just want to point out here, guys, that's not a good look if you're looking for fresh longs. So as long as you know, if you are taking the longs, go for it. Understand your risk though. Understand that these things could reverse and then there could be a nice big sell-off, 5%, 10%, 15% to the downside before the next push to the upside. So just understand your risk if you are jumping in now. Remember, the best entries comes at the lows. Those are the best trades. Now, in terms of PopCat, plan is let's get through 245. Let's get through this region. If we do, there's your next TP zone is 258 and your next TP zone is 27 to 278. That is going to be your most reasonable TP zones and your most reasonable short areas as well if you're looking to take something off. So if we do blow through this zone, okay, then next target 258 is what you're going to be looking at. Okay. Jamie's talking render. I think everything is doing well now at the moment. I mean, it really feels nice when it's green. And
when did you see that Elon just brought out this Grok 3? It's his new AI model. Supposedly it just kills everything else. ChatGPT, DeepSeek is better than everything based on the testing they've done. It just went out yesterday, I think. I wonder if we might see some AI movement here in some of these tokens.
That's a very good point. That is a very good point. Okay, I want to just pull up the 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗏 Twitter, because I know they were using the soundbite as well. So guys, this is our 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗏. Follow us at 𝗏𝗏𝗟𝗟𝗢𝗏 on Twitter. Yeah, there's tons of alpha for you as well. So other than flashing P and Ls, okay, I mean, fucking hell, this Trader J, he's killing it in there. Okay, he's killing it. But other than that, okay, there's alpha here for you guys. Okay, my charts are there. There's some cool things going on. We're giving longs, we're giving shorts, we're giving all these things for you guys. Now, I just want to find the Popcat one, because it's very important that you hear the soundbite with Popcat. It's the most important video that we have in Chart Hackers. There it is.
There
okay.
It is.
Let's get this thing up here. Don't forget about the cats. Don't forget about the pussy. Cat and you. Do you want to hear that again? About the cats. Don't forget about the pussy. Guys, never forget about the cats, okay? Never, ever forget about the cats. Okay, so Popcat, you know what to do here. This is a rejection zone. Be careful. If we break through, you know your next levels. These charts will be in Chart Hackers for you guys. Okay, here goes Fartcoin, absolutely ripping. And guys, simple thing. Okay, if you want to know how I do this shit and how I do this stuff, all this, you know, how did I know it was going to bounce there? Why did I draw lines there that it was going to bounce there? It's as simple as this. Do the Trading Accelerator course. There it is. Okay. I'm going to teach you the basics of TA. You're going to understand why I'm doing these things, and you're going to see these hot zones and these reaction zones come to life for you. And what I do is I tie in the accelerator course with all the oscillators that you see, all the chart prime gadgets and gizmos that we put together there for you guys, including bot trading and stuff like that. It's really worth your time. If you want to learn something new, take on a new skill, stop gaming, stop doing other shit, take on a skill, learn something, and come and do my accelerator course. Okay, the link is there for you guys in the show description. And I actually do have, let me play this quickly. Okay, let me play this quickly. Watch this video. This is one of our members who's become a really good trader in there. Okay, I watched this guy.
Crypto is fast paced. So for me, I want to understand what's happening now. And that's where training is about to take. It's literally a crash course that teaches you how to understand what's likely to happen next on any chart. And Dylan has a style that makes complex TA easy to understand. So you'll have the confidence to start setting up your own trades rather than just relying on calls from others. Dylan also teaches some real game-changing stuff on how to use leverage safely. This is stuff I've not seen anywhere else. It's not just about playing it safe. It's it's on another level. I guarantee you'll come out feeling more knowledgeable and more confident.
John Boy, what a legend. What an absolute legend, that guy. And he's turned into a serious trader in there. He's one of our key members there in Chart Hackers. He's doing good stuff in there. Okay, guys, here's a couple of short setups in case the market falls over. Now, what I'm giving you guys is here. Don't fucking short everything now and get rinsed. Okay, there's nothing worse than getting shorted, getting rinsed on shorts when the market is ripping and they're going to pump another 20%, another 30%, something like that. So pick a few head shorts, okay? Nibble at these things, understand the reaction zones, understand where we are now, understand where we can go next to our next zone, and then have a game plan in place. What we do know is 1 hour overbought, 2 hour overbought. We're looking for divergences. We're looking for reversals on these altcoins. Does it happen at this level or does it happen at the next levels? At one of these levels to the upside, it's going to fall over and it's going to reject. So that is the information I'm giving you, and use the information here in front of you. These are potential reaction zones. These are potential short zones. The first one is Brett. Okay, so you can see I'm sitting in a Brett short. Okay, I'm still in my Bitcoin short. We haven't been rinsed just yet. There's Brett. Okay, I took the short. I gave that in Hackers today. There's the Brett short. There's the Bitcoin short. Okay, that's going on there. So this is, this is number one. Okay, so this is your first zone. And I've said here possible short zone. So we need to see this nice divergence or nice reversal in that area. There is a chance, obviously, there's a good chance that the market pumps again. Where do we look? Where do we go next? Well, we identify some wicks and horizontals, and we try and tie it in with important things like a 618. Okay, you'll learn about that in the course, in the accelerator course. There's a 618. It should give you something as your next potential reaction zone. So if we get a mad pop out of the market, that's a possible area where we could get our next rejection zone. Okay, so watch out, Mark. Welcome, Enough and I. Good to have you here, sir. Please don't be late for class, Mark. Okay, it's very important that you attend class on time. Otherwise, we're dropping penalties there in Hackers for you. Okay, so Possible short zones, okay? This current region, then the 618. There's always some kind of activity around the 618, and you can see I have a little bit of confluence there. So just play it by ear. If you see the divergence forming on these altcoins, and there's lots of examples like that, basically what you want to see is the oscillator print a lower high, and like something like that, and you're going to see the price print a higher high, and then you're going to look for that thing to start reversing on some kind of resistance area. Okay, so right now we in one for Brett, 470 to say 489, 470 to 489. That's a danger zone for me. If this thing blows through your next possible area, okay, again, don't ape, okay, slowly, because what happens with these things is they start reversing. You can nibble. They start reversing. Then they start losing levels. They start losing trends. Then you can add. So don't ape into a short and get rinsed out. Remember, if you don't have a stop loss on a short, the losses are like exponential because it can just keep going up and up and up. Remember, if you're going down, it can only go to zero. If you're going up, it just never ends. Okay, so just remember that when you play these games. Okay, okay. So that is Brett. This chart will be in Chart Hackers for you guys. Here's another one. Injective. Here's a possible shortcoming on Injective. These are the two zones of interest for me. 16, number one. Okay, why is that interesting? You can see I've got order blocks in this region. Look at that. Lots of order blocks here. Horizontals. I've got a 0.5 fib as well. This looks like a reaction zone to me. You can see my oscillator is starting to drift a little bit lower. So there's a couple of reasons why this could react for us. So 16 to 16 point, call it 16.3, okay, is a possible zone number one. Then the next area for me, it's quite a simple and clean area. This guy, 17.3. Okay, so that looks like a reaction zone there to me, 17.3. And then if they really come and fuck shit up, you know what I mean? And they really come and send it, 19. Okay, that's going to be your next area of interest there on Injective. So watch these things. Obviously, look for your divergences, look for your reversals. You nibble in these zones. When you get momentum, you send it lower. You put your foot on the gas, okay? Then you send it lower. So just be careful in these zones. Remember, shorting very vicious green candles can put you in a spot, okay? It can put you in a spot, okay? So just be careful. Then, what else we got? Where's it? Did I do Altcoin? James, did I do Altcoin?
No, you brought it up for a second, but then went on to something else. There we go.
Okay. So, yeah, guys, here we go. Yes, sorry. Guys, apologies. I got ahead of myself. I started showing you, and then I started talking about the course. Apologies. Okay, so Altcoin, look, to me, it makes sense that I might need to close this thing shortly. It was a short little scalp trade. It dropped onto a VWAP, dropped onto a horizontal, dropped onto the 382. Okay, so there we go. Dropped into that nice level. Nice, strong reaction. Just played a very simple accelerator course style. Get the reversal on a good zone, pop. Okay, that's what you're looking for. Now, in terms of the 1 hour, let's take a look here. Let's see what's going on. See, 1 hour looking a little bit bearish. Doesn't mean it can't go higher, but you can see there's a couple of things going on. But if you are holding Altcoin and you want some more, if you think this thing can go higher, well, it can, number one. And number two, I'm going to give you those areas. So targets for Altcoin, if this thing keeps going. Okay, now, if we assume that the alts are going to hold their lows, and I'm talking about holding these lows here, these areas, okay? If it's going to hold these lows, we're probably going to see Altcoin there, and we're probably going to see Altcoin there in the not too distant future. So potential targets, 37, potential targets, 407, and then one more for you guys, 46. Now, one of these is going to be the most epic shorts in history that we're going to get, okay? And make sure you're watching the show, because we're going to get the timing is right. Make sure you are watching Chart Hackers, or you are in Chart Hackers, because we're going to get the timing right. We're going to short, okay? All the hackers are going to short together, okay, at the right time. Now, if you don't know what shorting is, don't go there, okay? It's shorting Altcoin. Don't be like that, okay? All right, guys, that's it. That is the full Monty. You've got some shorts. You got some long ideas. You got some targets. I think you well catered now until tomorrow. Okay, wild market out there. Don't overshort. Don't overlong. Play it cool. Bitcoin needs to get above 99 to 100K. Let's get above that. Okay, altcoins under resistance. Dominance still looks bullish. Just be careful. Okay, we don't need to ape on too much just yet. And the show never goes away. I'm here every single day. So if you want to check in, come tomorrow. And Maker. Let's see Maker. Hold on.
Well, and just to mention too, I saw in the comments, and when I went to grab that YouTube link, that CPAC is on right now. It's a conservative Republican convention there. Saylor was speaking, I guess, and people were saying there's some big bullish stuff going on there. And I don't know if Trump's speaking at it, but he usually does. I'm not sure if he'll be there or not.
Guys, okay. Thank you,
What's the
guys.
news?
Make a cut. Make a cut. Look at that. 7% between the reaction zones. Full cut there. That maker short was sitting there. Obviously got cut. Okay, so maker, I'm out. Okay, this thing pumped. And look, we can't win them all. Okay, so just remember, I mean, that's fucking aggressive. Okay, we got tons of reversals here. Look at that, what happened last time. It carried on going again. Okay, so guys, just be careful here. This thing looks vicious now. Any news on this maker? What is going on here?
You got the right shirt on for it anyway. Wrecked. Yeah, I don't know. This thing's been going crazy for a little while. I'm not sure what the deal is.
Okay, guys, don't try and be right. Okay, like if something doesn't go your way and you get fucked, like don't let your ego control you. Just move on. Okay, so Maker got the best of me, and I'm assuming it got the best of some of you guys as well. Let's just move on from Maker. We're not going back there. Okay, we'll just keep our eyes on this thing. But yeah, guys, can't win them all. That's a rinse. Okay, that's a rinse. Wrecked on Maker. Okay. All right, guys, good luck. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Catch you later.